जय दयाल निताय गौर हरि दयाल निताय गौरंग राधा मदन मोहन राधा गोविंद देव राधा गोपीनाथ योगी सपरिकार गुरु गौरंग गदाधर राधा गोपीनाथ जी लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भगवान प्रभु जगन्नाथ देव जी शिल गुरुपाद पद्म शिशिल प्रभुपाद पद्म जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद समस्त गुरुवर्ग पाद पद्मानां जयस्तु। जय शिशिल भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी ठाकुर जगत गुरु शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद पाद पद्मानां जयस्तु। रूपानुग गुरुवर्ग पाद पद्मानां जयस्तु। नृसिंह स्तोत्र। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लाद आह्लाद दायिने प्रह्लाद आह्लाद दायिने प्रह्लाद आह्लाद दायिने प्रह्लाद आह्लाद दायिने हिरण्यकशिपुर भक्षः हिरण्यकशिपुर भक्षः शिलाटंको नखालये शिलाटंको नखालये शिलाटंको नखालये शिलाटंको नखालये इतो निसिंह परतो निसिंह इतो निसिंह परतो निसिंह इतो निसिंह परतो निसिंह इतो जतो जतो यामि ततो निसिंह जतो जतो यामि ततो निसिंह जतो जतो यामि ततो निसिंह जतो बहिर्निसिंह हृदय निसिंह बहिर्निसिंह हृदय निसिंह बहिर्निसिंह हृदय निसिंह नृसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नृसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमल परे नाखम् अद्भुत सिंह दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंग केशवधृत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। তব কর কমল বারে নখম অদ্ভুত সিংহ ললিত হিরণ্যকশিপু তনুভিঙ্গ কেশবতীর্থ নরহরি রূপ জয় জগদীশ রে জয় জগদীশ রে জয় জগদীশ রে তব কর কমল বরে নখম অদ্ভুত সিংহং দলিত হিরণ্যকশিপু তনুভিঙ্গম তব কর কমল বরে নখম অদ্ভুত সিংহং দলিত হিরণ্যকশিপু তনুভিঙ্গম কেশবধৃত নরহরি রূপ জয় জগদীশ হরে জয় জগদীশ হরে জয় জগদীশ হরে কেশবধৃত নরহরি রূপ জয় জগদীশ হরে জয় জগদীশ রে জয় জগদীশ হরে জয় নৃসিংহাসিনী সিংহ জয় জয় নৃসিংহ জয় নৃসিংহ নৃসিংহ জয় জয় নৃসিংহ প্রহ্লাদেশ জয় পদ্মা মুখ পদ্ম ভৃঙ্গ প্রহ্লাদেশ জয় পদ্মা মুখ পদ্ম ভৃঙ্গ জয় নৃসিংহাসিনী সিংহ জয় জয় নৃসিংহ জয় নৃসিংহাসিনী সিংহ জয় জয় নৃসিংহ জয় নৃসিংহাসিনী সিংহ জয় জয় নৃসিংহ জয় নৃসিংহাসিনী জয় জয় নৃসিংহ প্রহ্লাদেশ জয় পদ্মা মুখ পদ্ম ভৃঙ্গ প্রহ্লাদেশ জয় মুখ পদ্ম ভৃঙ্গ প্রহ্লাদেশ জয় পদ্মা মুখ পদ্ম ভৃঙ্গ প্রহ্লাদেশ পদ্মা মুখ পদ্ম ভৃঙ্গ হরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে হরে কৃষ্ণ Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Dayal Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radha Govinda Sri Radhe Govinda Radha Govinda Sri Jaya Radha Gopinath Sri Radhe Radha Gopinath Sri Radhe Jai Radha Gopinath Sri Radhe Radha Gopinath Sri Radhe Jai Gadai Gaurango Jaya Gadai Gaurango Jaya Gadai Gaurango Jaya Gadai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango Jaya Dayal Nitai Gaurango Jaya Gadai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango Jaya Gadai Gaurango Nitai Gadai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango Jaya Gadai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Bhakti, Jaya Nrsimha Deva, Jaya Nrsimha Deva, Nrsimha Deva, Jaya Nrsimha Deva, Jaya Nrsimha Deva, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha, Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Deva, Lakshmi Nrsimha Deva, Lakshmi Nrsimha Deva, Lakshmi Nrsimha, Lakshmi Nrsimha Deva, Lakshmi Nrsimha, Lakshmi Nrsimha. Prabhu Jagannath, 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 Prabhu Jagannath. Jaya Baladev, Jai Jai Subhadra Maiya, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Jaya Subhadra Maiya, Jaya Baladev, Jai Subhadra Maiya, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Jai Subhadra, Jaya Sita Ramachandra, Shya Ramachandra, Jai Shya Ramachandra, Sita Ramachandra, Jai Sita Ramachandra, Sita Ramachandra, Sita Ramachandra, Sita Rama, Jai Lakshmi Narayana, 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 Jai Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Jaya Rupanuga Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru, Rupanuga Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga, Rupanuga. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari. निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय दयाल निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुता पदकमलं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादं सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वन्दे गुरुपदद्वन्द्वं भक्तवृन्दौ समन्वितं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे नित्यानन्दो सहोदितं श्रीनन्दनन्दनं वन्दे राधिका चरणद्वयं गोपीजनसमायुक्तं वृन्दावनो मनोहरम् गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। ऑल ऑफ यू चैनल श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। अगेन हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय सपरिकार श्री गुरु गौरंग गंधर्वास श्री राधा मदन मोहन राधा गोविंद देव राधा गोपीनाथ जू गिरिराज महाराज। जय श्री समस्त रूपानुग गुरुवर्ग गुरुपाद पद्म समस्त गुरुवर्ग पाद पद्मानां जयस्तु। परं विजयति श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्। First of all, I offer my most respectful obeisances unto the holy lotus feet of my Guru Pada Padmas. Their divine graces Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Sri Srimad Bhakti Rakshaka Siddhar Deva Goswami Maharaja and as none different from him, Nityalila Pravishta Paramahansa Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, also none different from them, His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, also as none different from them, Nityalila Pravishta Paramahansa Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Kesava Goswami Maharaj, all the Rupanuga Guru Varga, and be humbly praying for all their causeless mercy, benevolent mercy, be bestowed upon me and be bestowed upon all of you. As next. Thereafter, I also offer my prostrated humble obeisance, most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Paramaguru Pada Padma, Jagat Guru Paramhansa Kula Muktamani Ananta Sri Vibhushita Acharya Bhaskar, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. With all humility, praying for his causeless grace, causeless mercy upon this humble servitor and all of you. Please, oh all their divine graces, please be pleased with us and be blessing us. Be blessing us profusely. সমস্ত অন্যান্য গুরুবর্গ জয়যুক্ত হউন. All glories to all Rupanuga Guru Varga, current Vaishnava Acharyas like Srimad Bhakti Vibhuda Bodhan Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, although he departed from this plane, and Srimad Bhakti Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Shubha Goswami Maharaj, and all other current generation or next generation Vaishnava Acharyas. And let there be glories to them, to all their Harikatha preaching and devotional services, to their lordships, Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva, Gandharva Govinda Sundar, Radha Madan Mohan Govinda Gopinath Ji. If anyone else's disciple is present here, I miss to glorify. Excuse me, please. I also include all, while I say Rupa Anuga Guru Varga, all are included. I missed Srimad Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj also, Jai Yukta. So, there are many, sometimes I forget. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. Just give me a little water. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, today something spontaneously appearing in my mind. Some part of the illumination I could not complete in your house about that particular verse of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as the third definition, one of the very nice definitions of Bhakti, Sarvopati Vinirmukta. So the other day, in our dear Sakshi Gopal Prabhu's house, I I just began to explain, illuminate on that verse of Srimad Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but because due to so much time limit could not complete. So I feel like there's some natural happy inspiration to be explaining that verse, having some illumination on that verse this evening, taking the opportunity of this evening's Harikatha. Okay. One of this verse indicates, the verse is considered as one of the beautiful, very meaningful definitions of Shuddha Bhakti. So I've already explained, nicely explained on two other verses. Not fully, but okay, nicely explained. It also required time. On two other verses, the definitions of Shuddha Bhakti. The other day in Sakshi Gopal Prabhu's residence, verses start with, in the context, I'm mentioning about them, otherwise the context will not be complete. Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Laghutakrit. Repeat. Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Laghutakrit Chandrananda Visheshatma Sri Krishna Karshini Chasha. The first sign and definition of the pure loving devotion to the Supreme Lord Krishna. The next verse was Annabhilashita Shunnam Jnana Karmadhana Vritam Anukullena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. These two previous verses already explained by me to a good extent, not to the fullest extent, but to a good extent. And this evening, I would like to focus on explaining, illuminating on this verse another beautiful, wonderful definition of Shuddha Bhakti, which is Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Krishna. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. The very meaning, the intrinsic meanings of such verse also need to be understood in connection with, in relation to other previous verses. Okay, so its meaning also needs to be understood in the order, following the connections of two previous definitions. Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Laghuta Chandrananda Visheshatma Sri Krishna Karshini Chasha, and verse Annabhilashita Shunnam Jnana Paramartana. So when we understand the inner meanings of this third verse in connection with to the previous verses, then it will be understood more in a complete sense. So, sarvopadhi vinirmuktam, first of all, first criteria of Shuddha Bhakti. That the bhakta, that the devotee, the aspirant of the Shuddha Bhakti, has to be freed from all kinds of upadhis. Upadhis means different conditionings. Conditionings or titles, designations. Okay. Because all these great mundane titles or designations also have got so much attraction, so it conditions us. So, your conditionings, it is being here, the mundane conditionings being described here. Upadhis means all different kinds of mundane conditionings in different ways, such as mundane, having high mundane titles, designations, attachment and egos of mundane powers and positions. These are all upadhis. So, a purely aspirant devotee, sincerely aspirant devotee of Krishna, has to be freed from all such conditionings, has to be liberated from all such mundane conditionings. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam. Vinirmuktam means one, that devotee, a sincere seeker, the sincere devotee of Krishna, has to be completely freed, completely liberated. Vinirmuktam means vishesha rupena nirmuktam. Completely freed or liberated from all such mundane conditionings as I have just described. That's the first condition of being unconditioned. First great condition for a sincere devotee of Krishna, divine condition. What is that divine condition? To be unconditioned, to be liberated from all the such mundane conditionings, as I have just explained. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam. Then next step, tatparatena nirmalam. And with such liberation, with such freedom, divine liberations from all this mundane conditionings, mundane mortal conditionings or designations, then you will begin to be feeling about yourself that tatparatena nirmalam, that you are becoming holy and holy. My whole existence, my whole body, mind, heart, my whole existence, your whole existence, your mind, heart, whole existence, becoming holified, becoming so divinely holified, sanctified. You'll be realizing, tasting divine serenity. It's much more than cleanliness. divine serenity, holiness. All through your existence, as soon as you can become liberated from all those mundane conditionings. All this mundane conditioning which takes you away from Krishna. So then tatparatena nirmalam, immediately, with the freedom, with the liberation of all non-Krishna conscious mundane conditionings, titles, designations, egos. Upadhi also means, I forgot to mention ego. Another way. I've got so many different types of prides and egos. We always identify. So also freedom from all types of false egos, non-Krishna conscious egos. Then what will happen? Immediately you will start feeling all through your mind, heart, even soul, that you are becoming so holy, filled with divine holiness, which is coming from the supreme holy truth, supreme divine truth, the source of all holiness, all serenity, all purity. Nirmalam means also having purity. That you are filled with some wonderful, unprecedented happiness of divine purity all through your existence. Tatparatena nirmalam. And how? Which way? That great feelings, most wonderful feelings of that you are becoming pure, to be purer and purest. You are becoming filled with all divine holiness of the supreme holy truth. How? Tatparatena. That is happening in connection with Tat, the supreme. Like we say, Tat Tam Asi. In connection with that, with supreme that, with the supreme Tat. In close, intimate relationship with that supreme, with the supreme, means with the supreme Lord, Krishna. Tatparatena nirmalam. Because of being more and more Krishna conscious, because of being absorbed more and more in Krishna consciousness, because of inviting, you're giving sincere invitation to divine Krishna consciousness in your inner world of mind, heart, soul. In the world of your heart, and immediately you feel some blessed connection. Start feeling some very blessed connections with Krishna. And therefore you feel you are getting supremely purified. You are getting so much purified, so much holy, with the taste of great, wonderful, transcendental peace and happiness of that divine Krishna consciousness. Tatparatena nirmalam. Then Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanang Bhaktiruchyate. Rishikena. Rishika means all our senses. all our senses with their functions, okay, with their percepting ability. Rishikena, Rishika, all our senses, such as eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touching senses. And mana shasthindriyani is also, it is also explained in Shastra that our mind is also considered as the sixth sense. Shasthindriyani. So chakhu, karno, nashika, jihva, ta. Chakhu, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touching, or skin touching senses. These are five kinds of indriyas or senses, and over them, over and above, our mind, which is sitting in the center and controlling and guiding all these, our sense perception, consider sixth sense. Manashasthindriyani. So, should also be included here in Rishika. So, by all the capacities, by all the natural capacities or capabilities of all these indriyas or all our senses, utilizing all the capabilities of all these senses, we should be engaged in serving the Rishikesha, the Lord of all our senses, meaning the Lord of all our perceptive ability, Lord of all the capability of our perception, Krishna. So devotees should be serving the Lord of all our senses, meaning the Lord of all the power of perceptions, functions of all our senses. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Performing such service to the Rishikesha, Supreme Lord Krishna, in one of the names, one of the terms is called as Rishikesha, Rishika is called Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti, is also defined as pure devotion, pure loving devotion. Now, this last line, this second line of this verse is very significant. How to serve the Lord of all senses, the Lord of all our sensual powers, okay, ability of sense perceptions, power of sense perception. I have to explain it in little details. I'm happy to see you, Chaitanya Char. Hare Krishna. To go into details explanation, details understanding to understand. See, why it is so important? It may appear to be why it is so important, so vital to be engaging our senses in the services of Lord of senses. What's big deal? Very big deal. Because as we analyze into our living, into our being, the whole conception, the perception of our life, of our living on this plane in this mundane world is very much living on sense perception. Sense perception. Suppose if we simply lose all our sense perception, in other words, if we simply lose the ability of all sense perception, and we are nowhere. See, our identity of who am I, who you are, on this mundane plane is actually realized or more realized experience through sense perceptions. As soon as you take away all the capacities of our perceptions, we do not know who we are. We have no identity. We have no realization anything about myself, what I'm dealing with, where I am, who I am, what I should do. Okay? Who are my parents? I am son or daughter of who? What is my duty? Nothing is there. The whole existence is abolished. Although there will be still some soul's existence, but the very conception about myself, about yourself, all are abolished. Simply comes down to the zero. How? Suppose when we don't have eyes, suppose you don't have eyes, and you cannot see, then the very world, the very vast, beautiful world of vision is absent to you. It's no more existing before you, I repeat. When we have no eyes, we cannot see, simply we do not have the world of vision existing. And we have no conception or perception what we do through visualizations, visions. In this way, when we have no ear, we have no ability of hearing, then the world of sound and sound vibrations or language all are absent. When we don't have nose, world of fragrance totally absent. If we do not have tongue, world of taste is totally absent. We do not have touching ability, touching perception, the world of touching, experience of touch absent. So these are the ways of the perceptions we actually understand and feel, relatively realize about this world, our own existence, what should I do or not do, all this. As soon as all the abilities of perception is taken away from us, suppose all these channels of our experiences, realizations are just gone, are taken away, no more there, we are also almost no more there. Because the world of our whole feelings and experience about myself, ourself, about this world, environment, our relationship, family relations or anything, relations with the world are all gone. All become zero. Nothing remains. It's like almost with the dissolution of all these perception, functions of perceptions, nothing remains. Suppose, if you cannot see, if you do not visualize the things, then simply the world of sight and vision is no more there with you. That realization is gone. You are zero in that field. When you cannot hear any sound, then whole world of the sound vibration is just gone. You cannot speak to each other, cannot relate to each other through sound. All the functions of the language and our language, our words, through which we exchange our thoughts and realizations, and hearing beautiful music, take so much education, exchange our thoughts and everything, gone. No more there. Similar things happens when the visual world is gone. When the world of fragrance gone, world of smell also gone, no more there. World of fragrance, bad smell or good smell or fragrance are gone, not there. If there is no world of, there is no tongue, world of taste is totally absent. We simply don't know which food taste how, which way. Even we cannot speak properly, cannot pronounce, articulate. Okay, articulate things. What to say? Utter very different things if the tongue is not functioning. And if there is no world of sensation, to touching ability, we do not have that. So suppose all are taken away, all these worlds of perception, all these channels of perceptions are simply taken away, are simply no more there, then we are also almost no more there. Because we have not become Atma Rama yet. Like great yogis, great devoted yogis, like we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch everything, feel through everything through the Atma consciousness, because we have not reached that state. On this state, in this worldly state, present mundane state, we are fully dependent on our perception. All our experiences and realization are fully dependent on the capacity of our perception. If there is no perception, there is nothing. In spite of the fact this whole world remains and I am remaining still, the realization, the very experience that I am staying, I am remaining, the whole world remains all gone. It becomes zero. See? So now we understand how important, how much important is this, the world of our perception, through which we have the experiences of our life, of our being, of everything around us, of everything in which we are living in. So our perception greatly influences our living, our lifestyle, ways of our lifestyle and living. And we receive all attachments. We develop so much attachments, so much attractions, spirits of enjoyment, everything, feelings of thinking, feeling, willings, and everything. So much through the senses. These channels. We understand, experience the outside world. All the environment outside world, even myself, through the perception. If that is not there, nothing is there. Some of you may have seen that movie, Black. It was acted by some good actors. Like somebody was born, a girl was born without eyes, without vision, without hearing ability. Okay, without any vision, without any hearing ability, mostly could not smell anything, only could feel the touch. As a beautiful girl, his parents did not know how to bring up that girl, how to bring up their daughter. Daughter cannot see, cannot hear anything, cannot smell anything. Maybe a little bit tasting and little touching. Somehow or other Christian parents managed to find a good teacher. That good teacher who could discover a way, who could discover or invent a way to teach that girl to educate, teach that girl about some, to the touch principle. He invented a way to the touching method, where that's all she could relate to. Only touch. If somebody would be touching her, through touching she could know something is there beside her. A young little girl. So a great teacher actually discovered, invented a new way, befitting a way through the world of touch, through the channels, to the to the sensation of touching, and started to teach her different ways, different things to deal with in life. And he became successful in that way. Okay, became successful to some extent. But it was very, very difficult. Suppose that world of touching sensation was also absent to her, or taste sensation absent to her, then what would happen? There would be no way, except for great yogis who could only connect to her Atma. There would be practically no ways to relate to her, or for her to relate to others. There will be no way. Because all our experiences, feelings of connection, relationship, are received through perception, through the senses. You see how important, how most vitally important, most vital role these senses and the ability of perception through our senses play in our life. Now, the Rupa Goswami Prabhu is guiding us to give your best thing to God, to give your essential things, your essential, your essential things of life, okay, most important things of life in the service of Krishna. Instead of all the time using all your senses and perception, or your sense perceptions, for only relating to, connecting with mundane world, mundane attachment, mundane enjoyment, or mundane feelings of well and woe, pains and pleasure, sadness, happiness, okay, good and bad. Asking is make the best use, best utility of all your power of realization, all your powers of experiences, your realizations happening through your senses. Engage all this. Utilize all that for the best cause, for the best attainment of life, for the best goal, best destination, best object, ambrosial object and subject of your life, the best divine treasure, ambrosial goal of your life, attainment of Krishna, Supreme Lord, who is so all attractive, being personified, being the personification of all power, knowledge, beauty and bliss, of all infinite power, knowledge, beauty and bliss, which are great qualifications of our life, which are the highest and greatest truths of our life. We all want to be, if we ask, do you not want these qualities? Everybody will say, yes, I do want to be filled with these qualities. I want to be filled with power, filled with knowledge, filled with beauty, and filled with bliss. Nobody will deny. Because everybody wants that. But to everyone, these qualities bring the fulfillment of life. They fulfill the highest dreams of life. These are all the cherished, divine, ever cherished qualifications. Yes? All these are ever cherished qualifications in our life. What are they? Having power, having knowledge or wisdom, having beauty, and having bliss, characterized with immortality. Nobody will say, I don't want this. Everyone's dream is to have these qualities. Cherished dream, cherished desire, ever cherished desires to become fulfilled, to be fulfilled with such wonderful qualities. And Lord Krishna means He is the unlimited personifications or embodiments of all such priceless, invaluable qualities or qualifications. So naturally, when one engages in the service of that kind of Lord and one becomes connected with that quality of the Lord, Lord of unlimited power, knowledge, beauty, bliss, that of immortal character, immortal, transcendently immortal, divine character. As soon as you have any connection with that Lord, you also become fulfilled. Through the connection, by receiving the connection of the Supreme Perfect, Supreme Absolute Divine, you also become qualified with divinity. You also become blessed with those nature according to your adhikara, your own qualification. You cannot but be blessed with those qualifications according to your ability, as you deserve, in connection with Krishna. So therefore, the Rupa Goswami was beautifully guiding us. See, so you realize all your senses are very, very important, most important things in your life. Because without senses, you cannot live. Without senses, there's no conception of living your life. You are zero. Without sense functions, the activities of perception, you are zero. So, all your senses and sense power, your perceptions are great, great treasures, highest valuable gifts. What you receive from God in your life, from the Rishikesha, from the Lord of all your sense perception, from the Lord of all your power and potency of the world of sense perception, you have received it. You have not created it. It's not self-created. It is given such valuable, invaluable gifts through which you can perceive, experience about yourself, about the world, everything is given to you. It's a matchless gift, invaluable gifts from the Supreme God to you. He is so merciful, compassionate. He is so considerate, benevolent, so kind, compassionate, merciful upon you. Therefore, mercifully, He blessed you with such matchless, unparalleled, invaluable gifts. Now, it is your duty to become grateful because you have received such ability, such power from your divine origin, okay, from the Supreme Absolute origin, from the Supreme Absolute Good, Supreme Absolute Wonderful Lord, Supreme Absolute Divine Truth, most wonderful and merciful Lord. So you need to remain grateful. You need to be very grateful. You need to be filled with loving gratitude, unlimited gratitude towards that your Lord, by whose blessings, by whose sanction, by whose empowerment today you have been able to have such ability of perception, such perceptive capacity you have had. So you should be remaining very grateful, infinitely grateful, indebted to such compassionate and merciful grant of the Lord in your life. And so all these senses and sense functions in the form of perceptions means it is you, it is your consciousness, that is your identity in relation to the soul. So offer that your most valuable gifts, which is already given by Lord to you, which is already sanctioned by Supreme Lord to you. So serve that Supreme Lord back. Serve that same Supreme Lord, merciful Lord, okay, with your most valuable gifts, most valuable treasure of your life. Utilize them to the best. Utilize them, all these senses and functions of sense perception. So utilize those for the best cause, for your best gain, for your best attainment, nectarian attainment of your life, attainment of Krishna, attainment of eternal love service, loving devotional service to Krishna, ecstatic love service to Krishna. Of course, Radha Krishna. When I say Krishna, I mean divine couple, ultimately. Then that is called bhakti. Because now you have given your best. Now you have also presented the best gifts of your life, which was already given to you, individually and collectively given to you. Now you are offering back, you are offering your best wealth, best gifts, best valuable things of your life in the service of Lord. That is the best utility of yourself, to have best gain, best attainment, best ambrosial nectarian attainment, nectarian divine attainment of your life in the form of attaining ecstatic, loving, devotional relationship with divine couple in eternity, and relishing that ambrosial taste through immortality and eternity. And must know, having that is the best gain of your life. So when you become prepared to give your best gifts, to offer your best gifts of life, in the service of Lord Rishikesha, then that is called bhakti. And offering your best gifts of life into his service, meaning offering your best to him in his service, all respects, meaning utilizing your eye perception, world of your beautiful vision, world of your vision. In other words, visual world, the sense of all your beauty through eye perception. You offer it in service to Krishna, meaning engage your eyes to be looking at the beautiful form, portrait, picture of Krishna, Krishna Rupa. Even through meditation, through your inner meditation, inner world of devotional meditation, you can see a beauty, you can have a beautiful vision, most wonderful, beautiful vision about some kind of form and beauty of Krishna. And you can also relate to some form and beauty of Lord Krishna through some most beautiful portrait, picture, beautiful deity form. You can engage your eye experience, eye's vision, eye perception to be reading the pure devotional scriptures. Okay, wonderful holy texts, scriptures filled with the description of His glories. You can look at the devotees and relate to them in Krishna consciousness. You can look at the beautiful deities of Krishna, beautiful portrait and picture of Krishna, and feel, oh, how beautiful my Lord is. Feel into that how beautiful, immensely beautiful, unlimitedly beautiful my supreme beloved Lord is. Taste it, relish it. Then you know, and that is the best utility. That's called best utilizations of your visual channel, of a visual experience. Eye experience in relation to Krishna, Krishna Radhika. And when you can feel that I am also being graced under the divine eyesight of Lord Krishna, I am also feeling blessed being in the shelter, in the visual world of my compassionate Lord, that He is also looking at me, feeling that. That is a specific, special experience of exchanges, having exchanges with the Supreme Lord Krishna in Krishna consciousness through eye perception. This is the channel. See, so eye is so valuable. Our eye perception can be best utilized, can have best utility in Krishna consciousness in this way. By watching Krishna's beauty, seeing Krishna's beauty, reading and tasting, relishing that, by reading holy scriptures, by looking around the temple, to clean the temple, to decorate Krishna temple, by making so many beautiful things, designs for Krishna. Okay, by looking at the devotees in so many ways, by looking at by standing before the ocean, looking at the sunrise, mystically beautiful sunrise, sunset, looking at the majestic, vast, oceanic beauty of the ocean, looking at the panoramic beauty of the nature, full of green and surroundings, in so many ways. We can do all this, can look into everything, into myself, into everything around me in Krishna consciousness. In relation to Krishna, knowing they are none other than certain extension of the energies of Krishna in the form of beautiful light, water, ether, sound, surroundings, space, sky, world of fragrance, world of sight, world of visual beauty, vision, world of See, world of sound. So, all this sight world or visual world, sound world, world of fragrance, world of touch, world of taste, all are none other than extension of Krishna's energy. Because they're all empowered by Krishna. If they would not be empowered by Krishna, they would just be inactive, like dead. They would no more be valid. They would no more be valid, active. All would be passive, totally passive and dead-like. A dead thing also has existence. But what kind of entity a dead thing has? That like that. So see, thus we can connect the world of our visual experience, wonderful visual experience, its taste, in the service of Krishna. Through that we can connect to Krishna, to be serving the Lord, the master of my visual world, visual beauty. Now next to that, take the world of sound. How? How we can offer? We can offer that in Krishna's service. By hearing the sweet devotional songs, I repeat, by hearing great devotional musics, devotional songs, by hearing Harikatha, just as today, this evening we are doing, by engaging in Krishna Sankirtana, which has got a most important part of hearing. If we cannot hear, we cannot chant, we cannot sing. So the sound of world, sound of hearing also complementing, complementing, sustaining, fulfilling the world of vision also. World of other aspects of the world of sound, such as chanting, singing, is also contributing to the world of our feelings, realization through chanting and singing, to the path of sound vibration. While it gets connected to Krishna, it becomes Shabda Brahma. It simply becomes surcharged with Krishna's energy, empowered by the power of Krishna consciousness. It works as Shabda Brahma. It doesn't even remain as ordinary sound, ordinary channels of the sound. The world of the Krishna Sankirtana, the sound vibrations of the world of true Krishna Sankirtana, pure Krishna Sankirtana means Shabda Brahma, visual Brahma, then sound Brahma, Shabda Brahma. See, so we can utilize our ear, the channel of our channels of perception through sound, world of our ear and world of our sound, to relate to Krishna in this way. Hearing Krishna's glories, singing hearing Krishna's glories, singing Krishna's glories, propagating His glories, always hearing the melodious devotional songs of love for Krishna, songs which wakes us up, connects us directly to the love of Krishna, world of love of Krishna, loving devotion to Krishna, means Krishna, having connection through devotional musics, higher devotional musics, devotional songs, when we can connect to Krishna, connect to the world of Krishna consciousness, it means we're actually directly connecting to Krishna through the path of music, to the sounds of devotional songs. They are non-different. We are relating to Krishna in the sound form, the most beautiful melodious sound form, sound mellows, that melodious, beautiful experience through sounds of Krishna. Because Lord Rishikesha have all these aspects, visual aspects, sound aspects, the connection of realizations about Lord Rishikesha also happens to all these paths, visual path, sound path, okay, smelling path, tasting path, touching path. Okay. These are our ways, these are our real ways to feel and realize and experience about my being, about others. Most valuable. So, thus, offer your ear, offer your world of sound, experience to world of sound path in the service of Krishna. How? Again, I have just explained. Apart from that, we can also be using the world of sound vibration in relation to Krishna, in Krishna consciousness through hearing some dhani, anahata dhani, some nectarian sound vibration coming from the depth of our souls and super souls' existence. The great devotee yogis who follow, who absorbs in the world of Nada Yoga can hear them. It manifests through the path of divine sound or sound vibration, inner sound, inner voice, nectarian inner sound from your own existence, depth of your own existence, from the level of your own level of your own soul in connection, in relation to the super soul, which is none other than Krishna. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdati. So the super soul also existing in our existence, connecting to our individual existence, means Jivatma. Super soul is none other than another manifestation of Krishna, as Sukadeva Goswami clearly describing as Paramatma. Lord Krishna manifests as Brahmeti, as Parama Brahma, as Paramatma, super soul, and also Bhagavan, as Supreme Lord, which is Krishna directly. In full-fledged personal conception of Godhead is Krishna. Full-fledged conception of personality, ambrosial personality, transcendentally ambrosial personality, all-fulfilling personality, that is Krishna. Therefore, for Mahajanas, the pure devotee, like Srila Swami Prabhupada explained, Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Supreme Personality of the Godhead. No ordinary God. Means Supreme God. Supreme Personality of all divine truth. Absolute divine truth. That is Krishna. So back to the point. So we can utilize our sound path to the best in such following ways. Engaging my ear in hearing about Krishna, talking about Krishna, hearing beautiful, sweet devotional songs of Krishna and releasing about Krishna, and releasing those love songs and be filled with love of Krishna in your heart, in my heart, through the melodious sweetness of the sound from the love song of Krishna. Then hearing, of course, hearing the great Harikathas from the lotus lips of our Guru Varga, and not only just hearing casually, through hearing, feeling into it. Developing feelings into the world of their Harikatha as I am hearing from my Guru Varga. So living reciprocation, instead of just formal, casual hearing and forgetting, oh, I just heard. Oh, okay, fine, forgot. No. Everything, all application has to be living, more realistic. There has to be realistic implementations of our sense perception for the best utility. Mm-hmm. Also hearing your soul, super soul, sound vibration through the in-depth meditation. It is also possible. Yogis, great devotee yogis can hear. Okay. Your own excess, how to say, or your own excess, existential, I repeat it, your own existential, wonderful sound vibrations coming up, appearing from the depth of your soul and super soul, soul in connection with super soul. Okay. Divine, an aspect of higher spiritual sound vibration. Sometimes it is called anahata shabdadhani. Sometimes it is called beautiful inner voice guiding from within. Sometimes we can even hear some beautiful song, beautiful music in our dream while we are sleeping. That is also hearing, experience. We can wake up in the midnight, bathing in the moonbeam, bathing in the soothing moon rays, and waking up in the midnight, hearing a beautiful song, most melodious, ambrosial song, which is filling your whole existence with that melody of this sweet song. One of the transcendental experiences. Fortunately, I have got that experience in my life. All credit goes to the blessings and merciful grant of the Supreme Lord. I am not taking any credit, but I had that experience several times, just waking up in the midnight. Okay. Midnight, inspired by some very sweet dream of beautiful vision, while hearing very sweet, inexplicably sweet ambrosial love songs about the Supreme, as if it's spreading all over the universe, spreading all throughout all my existence, my mind, heart and soul, inundating my whole existence with pleasure, ambrosial taste, and spreading out throughout the universe, connecting to space, wind, air, whole ether, whole surroundings, again touching me. I'm discovering myself within that ambrosial experience, very transcendental. Okay, waking up in the midnight, filled with the sweet melodies of some love song of the Supreme, and crying in happiness, inexplicable delight and ecstasy. And everything, whole surroundings became filled with sweetness in that consciousness, while you wake up on that level of consciousness. But that waking up happened through some melodious sound vibration. Sound experience. So we can connect to the Supreme Absolute Divine through the path of melodious sound. Beautiful sound path, very, very important. Srutekshita patha. Therefore, one of the messages from the Vedanta Upanishad is that try to see the Supreme Lord through your ear. If you just simply visualize, if you simply directly try to see, okay, understand. Here seeing means, in a greater sense, we have to understand. Seeing means having a darshana. If you directly try to have darshan of the Supreme Lord through only your eyesight, you won't understand properly. But must have your proper knowledge through the path of sound, through the Shruti, the divine messages as delivered, as presented, through the hymns, beautiful hymns and beautiful utterance of the mantras, beautiful songs from the great rishis, munis, great yogis, great devotees of the Lord, great saintly spiritualists, great saintly spiritualists, the divinely devoted persons, divinely realized souls. And you hear from them about their experience about supreme divine being, supreme beautiful Lord of all, your supreme nectarine realization, nectarine attainment. And then you realize how to see, how to look at that Lord. Then you become qualified about how to look at the Lord, how to appropriately look at the Lord, see the Lord, not only through your material eyesight, but through the knowledge you acquired, through the knowledge of Siddhanta, feelings, realization you acquired, through the path of sound, divine sound, through which the Holy Scriptures manifested. So many beautiful songs and hymns and mantras manifested. They manifest through the world of sound. Yes? Mantras, hymns, songs. You see how much utility we can have. Our ear, we can have of our, about our ear and the sound path of realization in Krishna consciousness. So back to the point. So that's how to engage the ear. Engaging our sound world, our realizations, feelings through the sound channels, sound path, in the devotional service of the source of all such power of perception, Krishna, Rishikesh. By ecstatically absorbing in his devotional songs, love songs of Krishna, singing and dancing, waving with some thrills, great happiness, ecstasy in love songs of Krishna, to hear about Krishna. Also, when you can hear, you know what you are speaking, so it also enables you to speak to others about Krishna. Because if you cannot hear about your sound, you cannot speak properly, you don't know what you are speaking about, how it sounds. So this hearing ability also facilitating our speaking ability. There cannot be any language, sound language, without this sound path. So we can be utilizing all this my sound aspect, all sound aspect of mind, sound aspect of my perception in the service of Krishna, the real originator, source of all this world of sound. Okay. Now, next, world of smelling. Be engaged in smelling the fragrance of tulasi, fragrance of chandana offered to Krishna. And at some point when you get uplifted on the higher level of Krishna consciousness, like the way we realize in dream, like the way we experience in our happy, sweet dreams, can also be experiencing some divine fragrance of Lord Krishna almost coming from nowhere while you are engaged in Krishna's service, absorbed in devotional mood, although some fragrance is not there in the surroundings around you, but is appearing from the higher world of Krishna consciousness. You can be smelling some divine fragrance of Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet. Flowers offered in Krishna's lotus feet. Now those flowers are added with more fragrance, divine fragrance, now manifesting to you in a subjective, super subjective, transcendental subjective way. It's not coming from the material environment. But you can feel into and can have that, you can feel and smell that fragrance from the divine world of Krishna consciousness. Like in the world of happy dream. In the world of dream, you don't perceive anything from the outside material world, objective world. But still you can perceive everything, isn't it? Whether in good dream or bad dream. You can experience everything almost you experience through the senses. In the dreams world, but you are not having it materially, you are not receiving it from the material environment. All happening in the world of your consciousness, world of your dream, another level of your consciousness. So, Rupa Goswami Prabhu directs us. Engage your nose in smelling the divine fragrance of Lord Krishna. All the fragrance things, ingredients offered in the service of Lord Krishna. At the same time, in order to follow the principle of pratikulla vivarjanam, if you smell something bad, separate it. Throw it away. Don't let it come close to Krishna. Don't let it come close to the world of your service to Krishna. Throw it away. Keep it away. So you can make the comparative study also, bad smell, good smell, both. In a similar way, as it is applied to the world of fragrance, world of smelling, similarly it also applies to the path of experience of sight, vision, eye experience and ear experience. Pratikulla vivarjanam is also another factor. Through the visual path, whenever we can see, when we are utilizing our sight, our eye vision, we can also discriminate between some evil sight, bad sight and good sight. Any bad things and good things. So pratikulla vivarjanam, following the principle of pratikulla vivarjanam, rejecting the bad, which are unfavorable to life of Krishna consciousness, only accepting everything as favorable to Krishna consciousness. So you can discriminate through your visual path, which is looking good, which is looking bad, which is looking very good and favorable to Krishna consciousness, accept them. And which are looking bad, reject them. Same thing in relation to the world of sound. As soon as you are hearing something negative, bad, anti-Krishna consciousness, reject them. Discriminate, compare. You can discriminate, differentiate between them. So reject all those sound noise, those aspects of the sounds of your hearing which are anti-Krishna consciousness. So discriminate and reject them. Only accept those words which you are hearing in favor with Krishna, favorable to Krishna consciousness. Accept those. So it applies the same principle applies to all paths of our perception, all aspects of perception. Making discrimination, rejecting anything unfavorable to Krishna, and acceptance of everything favorable to Krishna. And rejection is also made to make enough space and place within me for further nectarian acceptance. When our existence is filled with so much garbage, unnecessary stuffs, we do not know how to clean, we do not know how to reject and eliminate the unnecessary stuffs through cleansing process. How can we make space, scope to invite the best wealth, best treasure in our life, treasure of Krishna consciousness, because there is no space, all filled with garbage and conditionings. My life space is filled with garbage stuffs which needs to be rejected, needs to be thoroughly eliminated, cleaned, marjanam, and then the clean place, in the clean place of our mind and heart, we can invite the beautiful wealth, beautiful world or treasure of Krishna consciousness. In other words, in clean place we can invite Krishna to come and manifest in ecstatic way through love ecstasy. So therefore, Pratikulla Vivarjana also important principle besides Anukulla Sankalpa. Actually, the principle of Anukulla Sankalpa, acceptance of everything favorable to Krishna, cannot be complete, cannot be fulfilled without the proper learning, proper way of the eliminations. So such Pratikulla Vivarjanam elimination is required for further positive acceptance. Further positive acceptance of treasure of Krishna. So back to the point. Thus, should be discriminating. Now, to the point as we relate the aspect of our taste, how to engage our tongue in service of Krishna, how to utilize our tongue and the faculty aspect of taste in connection with Krishna, in Krishna consciousness. We all know. Taste the delicious prasadam. Cook the delicious food. Cook the delicious food to be offered to Krishna, meant to be offered to Krishna. And after offering to Krishna, then feel into the delicious taste of the prasadam and feel you are being rejuvenated. You are being revived. You are being invigorated, like rejuvenated with some divine energy of Krishna Prasad. Some subtle divine potency and energy you are deriving from the delicious Krishna Prasad. It's revitalizing, invigorating your pranic energy. Feel into that, you will be feeling. When you are sincerely, purely motivated to feel into that, actually at a certain point you will start feeling that practically. We all know by science, through the path of general science, by the path of, by the normal, conception of the science, we all know when we eat food, when we put food in stomach, eat food, we receive pranic energy from the food, vitamins, minerals, and others, carbohydrate, fat, protein, all in many ways. We receive a pranic energy from the food. That pranic energy has been reserved within the food in the form of food by Lord Krishna. That's what we receive to maintain and sustain our life. What to speak more of eating prasad? When we can relate to the taste and eating of Mahaprasadam in a spiritualized way, spiritually qualified way, spiritually meditative way, spiritually focused ways, through spiritual consciousness, in other words, Krishna consciousness, at some point we can feel in a conscious way, we're actually receiving some special energy, some additional divine energy, life energy from the prasadam. That is the real way of tasting prasadam, higher way, higher spiritual way of relating to the Mahaprasadam, not only relating to the taste, but also relating to the pranic energy we are receiving from that food in the form of Mahaprasadam. So, engage the world of your tongue to be tasting delicious Mahaprasadam and feel very happy with. One of my great glorious Shiksha Gurudeva, the Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, laid a special stress on cooking delicious foods, delicious bhoga for Krishna. He laid special stress on engaging in delicious Sankirtana, delicious, delightful Sankirtana, also delicious foodstuffs offered to Krishna, to be offered to Krishna, and then distributing delicious prasadam to the devotees, and of course, delicious behaviors from the devotees. which will touch their heart and inspire them to become Krishna devotee. So he lays a special stress on both ways, prasadam and sankirtana. That heart will be captured through tongue, through the path of taste, tongue. Heart can be easily captured. To prepare delicious foods. Of course, the very nature of Lord Krishna is supremely delicious. Supremely ecstatic, blissful means supremely delicious. I'm saying in a poetic way. So, the foodstuffs should also be qualified accordingly. The foodstuffs to be offered to Krishna should also be qualified accordingly, qualified with great taste, deliciousness. Because our Lord Krishna is supremely beautiful and wonderful, is supreme good, supreme holder of supreme invaluable qualities. Therefore, the ways, the things we offer to Krishna also would be so qualified, cannot be cheap class. The ways of all kinds of offerings to Krishna also be so qualified with supreme beauty, with great beauty. If we are not able to offer things with supreme beauty, at least great beauty. Everything must be offered to Krishna, qualified in a greatly beautiful way. Great beauty and quality, greatly beautiful way, greatly musical way, greatly soothing way, greatly tasteful way, greatly embracing way in love. Because Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord of all supreme power, supreme beauty, supreme knowledge, character, supreme bliss. Okay. Is the Lord manifest to all supreme, super excellent ways, super beautiful, super wonderful, super qualified ways. So therefore, we have to take a target. Therefore, we have to take that intention. Therefore, our intentions, quality of our sincerity, our pure intentions, our pure desires to be serving Krishna should also be qualified accordingly. It cannot be cheap class. Cannot be cheap class, but should be greatly qualified, specially qualified, high class as much as possible. We're offering our services to the Supreme Lord in excellent to super excellent ways as much as possible. That is the enthronement in Krishna consciousness. So back to the point. Because Krishna is Sundara. Krishna means supremely Sundara, means supremely beautiful. All supreme absolute beauty personified as Krishna. And that beauty actually accommodating within, that conception of beauty actually accommodating within, not only visual beauty, not only Krishna, the visual conception of beauty, but ear beauty, sound beauty, eye beauty, sound beauty, taste beauty, our feelings beauty, touch beauty, smell beauty, everything. When we love something, whenever we truly appreciate something in very excellent, high-class way, it means it is beautiful. So the conception of beauty manifests in many different aspects, through eye aspect, ear aspect, or sound aspect, smell aspect, tongue aspect, touch aspect. Krishna is the Supreme Lord of of the supreme beauty in all aspects. I repeat, Krishna is that supreme Lord of all the supreme aspects of beauty, supreme taste of absolute beauty. So back to the point. And besides engaging our tongue in Krishna consciousness, engaging our tongue to be tasting delicious prasadam side by side, in which other ways we can engage our tongue? Tell me. Chanting, singing, speaking. Sometimes our way of speaking, narrating the glories of Krishna through sound, by the utterance, pronunciation happening, happening by the tongue vibration, can be so sweet, can be so delicious also. That is another aspect of deliciousness. Can be created, can be born, manifesting from our tongue vibration, from the articulation, pronunciation, arts of pronunciation, due to our tongue's vibration, from tongue's vibration. Yes, whenever we speak something, we sing something, our tongue vibrates, creates in a certain way. That's a great utility of the tongue. Besides tasting the delicious prasadam, cooking, because sometimes devotees also taste little bit how it is being cooked to make it super delicious, very delicious. Even before offering to the Lord, one can taste a little bit in a selfless way without swallowing. So utilizing the tongue, even before offering to the Lord, to ensure that it becomes very tasty. And then later on, after the bhoga offering done, then tasting the delicious prasadam. So besides that sweet engagement of tongue, we find the next other aspect of the great engagement is to engage in chanting, singing love songs of Krishna and speaking the glories, narrating the glories of the Supreme. So, taste. Connecting to other sense which is still left, touch. How to utilize it? How to utilize this aspect of our sense experience? Tell me. How to be utilizing this aspect of our sense experience or touch experience in relation to Krishna? Service, different types of service, yes. Chanting, yes. Chanting on the holy Tulasi beads, yes, feeling the touch of holy Tulasi beads while chanting, absorbing chanting the holy Mahamantram, other holy names of Lord is one way. By touching the lotus feet of Krishna in the deity form, touching the beautiful lotus feet, little bit cleaning, or rubbing the chandana, rubbing some fragrant chandana oil there, in some inner mood, being situated in the inner loving mood, massaging Krishna, giving a massage, the lotus feet of Krishna and giving some feet massage, hand massage, body massage can apply in the form of deity, in Raga Marga. While we relate to Krishna deity, while a devotee can relate to Krishna deity in Raga Marga, much more than stone-made deity, stone-made idol. they can have living reciprocation. Some can feel live relationship. Okay? Through higher subjective way. The higher divinely subjective way can feel like touching Krishna, like loving relation, loving connection, reciprocation with Krishna. Okay? And that manifests not from external material level, that manifests from inner super-subjective level of Krishna consciousness. Like the way when Dhruva Maharaj saw Narayana, at some point when he received the result of his tapasya, finally Sriman Narayana appeared before Dhruva Maharaj with beautiful face and smiling, wonderful, giving him wonderful darshana, asking him, Dhruva, what do you want from me? I know. What do you want from me? Though I know, but still I want to hear from you. What kind of boon you want to receive from me? And Dhruva Maharaj was having the darshan of Bhagavan Narayana. But still his eyes was closed. His eyes were still closed. He did not open his eyes. Started to have darshan of Lord Narayana. Very realistically. I repeat, began to have darshan of Lord Narayana so realistically before eyes, when his eyes remained closed. And how he received that darshan? Lord Narayana appeared before the eyes of his heart, inner consciousness. And Dhruva Maharaj actually began to have darshana, the transcendental darshan of Lord Narayana through his inner eyes, by his inner heart's eyes. Then at some point, he opened his material eyes. He found the same Narayana. So his outer eyes, external material eyes and inner eyes now entuned together. They got unified together in a wonderful way. And he found, when he opened his eyes also, externally, found the same Narayana before him. But whole vision was transcendental, not objectively created. Nothing, no material object. Okay, nothing material. Whole thing. The way Lord Narayana appeared before Dhruva Maharaj, the way Dhruva Maharaj was seeing through his eyes, in his eyesight, everything divinely blessed. Everything was that of transcendental capacity and aspect. Because our material eyes cannot see Lord Narayana, Lord Krishna. Is so limited. When Supreme Lord Himself, Supreme God, Supreme Godhead, Supreme God or Supreme Goddess, they want to manifest themselves on their own sweet will. Okay. Directed by their own sweet will, on their own will, then only we can realize about them. Yame vaisha brinute tena labhya. Nayo is that verse, Nayo matma pravachanena labhya, na medhaya. Na medhaya va bahuna srutena, yame vaisha brinute tena labhya. When Supreme Lord wants to manifest Himself or herself, wants to be the subject of one's realization on his own sweet will, then only one can directly experience about him, directly have darshana or have realization about him. Otherwise it's impossible. Impossible. Because the functions such activities of having darshana of the Supreme Lord, okay, it cannot be had, cannot be possible through ascending method, but only it is possible through descending method, through the path of divine revelations. Path of divine revelations descending in the devotee's life. Now coming back to the aspect of touch. So, yes, chanting holy Mahamantra, holy names of the Lord, on Tulasi bead, feel that touch. Directly serving the deities of the Supreme Lord, with so much feelings of joy and happiness, touching the lotus feet. Lotus feet, beautiful deity of Krishna. I found some devotees even kissing in Ragamarga mood, kissing on the lotus feet of Krishna deity. So much love, kissing the lotus feet of the Krishna deity, smelling the chandana offered there, putting fragrant flowers, worshipping the lotus feet, only worshipping the lotus feet for so much time, embracing our shelter, our divine ambrosial shelter. So at that time, at that point, it doesn't remain in the world of such higher realizations. The lotus feet of the deities of Krishna cannot simply remain as some feet of the idols. Much more than that. You can feel connections, inner connection, inner spiritual connection, divine connections, taking so much joy from that through your feelings, your love feelings. In a similar way, after taking care of Krishna's lotus feet, giving massage and decorating, putting chandana there, decorating it, then sometimes those Ragamarga devotees also giving some message. Krishna's deity, like giving a real message to the real Krishna, feeling into that, the Lord accepting it, Lord enjoying my messaging service, feeling into that, giving message, caressing Lord Krishna's deity as if real, just as we are sometimes engaged in caressing our beloved, someone very dear to us, lovingly caressing all over his body. Beautiful form of Krishna, caressing with so much love and feelings. Okay. And feeling into that, feeling connection with Krishna. Putting chandanam on the forehead, decorating Krishna's face beautifully, artfully, chandanam, putting garland, looking at the smiling face of Krishna, whether in the deity form or in the portrait form, touching, not only relating to Krishna through visual way, through sound path, also through aspect of touch. Touching Krishna on the portrait, on the deity form, and also whatever is being utilized in the devotional service, loving service to Krishna, devotees actually embrace it to the heart by touching, feeling so much taste by embracing to the heart. It's also touching aspect. Some Ragamarga devotees not only kissing the lotus feet, they embrace Krishna. Embrace the beautiful deity of Lord. Feel so much happiness, so much joy. It's a real deity worshipping. The real deity worshipping. Real deity worshipping through love relationship, feeling that connection. there were some pure devotees. Used to be worshipping Krishna, relating to Krishna Raga Marga. So he prepared nice bed for Krishna in the first place. And then what he did, he wanted to feel the touch of the bed, how soothing it became. How soothing he could prepare that bed for Krishna. Whether it is a bit rough type, because Krishna is going to sleep there. So it has to be bed cover, the mattress, bed cover, pillow, everything has to be perfect, very soothing, very comfortable for Krishna. So he felt the touch of the Veda. I repeat. So he touched the Krishna's bed with his hand, first palm. He was not very satisfied. He touched with his face, cheek. Then, wonderfully, in some wonderful mood, maybe Shakharasa, he laid down on that bed and felt how it feels. Wanted to feel how comfortable it feels. And then felt, no, it's not so soothing yet. I don't feel it's so soothing. Got up, re-prepared the bed of Krishna. And then again laid down a little bit. And then he felt, yes, now it is nearly perfect. Now it is very comfortable. I am satisfied. Then my Lord can also enjoy his sleep in this very comfortable bed. See, happening through touch aspect. When we are engaging our hands, all legs, when we are engaging our hands directly in so many varieties of service to Krishna, touch aspect. Touch aspect getting the highest utility. Utilizing this aspect of our sense experience to the best in Krishna's service through hands. While we are walking, doing parikrama of Krishna temple, also great holy mountains like Govardhana, great places, Tirtha parikrama. Although we are engaging our legs, but that legs also experiencing some connection with Krishna through touch aspect. We can feel we are walking, running, engaging our legs. So engaging our hands, legs, our body in the service of Krishna involves, directly connects with the touch aspects in so many ways. So back to the point. So that's how. And ultimately, engaging your mind, if I don't explain about the function of mind in relation to Krishna, so much will be missing. Mind is considered sixth sense. Ultimately, after five senses, Chakhu Karna, Nashika, Jihva, talk. Sixth sense is mind. Mind is considered sixth sense, which is controlling, which is working through all the senses. If one becomes unmindful, even if all the senses are active, they're all active, but they won't do their functions. They won't have the experience because mind is not there. Consciousness is not there. And consciousness is there, but mental focus is not there. Therefore, often we say, although something happened before my eyes, say, no, I did not see it. Oh, it happened. I didn't notice. I didn't register. Although eyes are open, something happened, but because you are unmindful. So although in spite of a thing happening before the eyes, not seeing. In spite of hearing something, some sound vibration, someone spoke to him, cannot hear anything. So back to the point, how to utilize mind in service of Krishna. The mind is also known as sixth sense, Indriya. So, we all understand, mind is sitting in the center. Mind is sitting in the center of all our perception ability and controlling. If the mind is not there, mind is not connected with all our senses are no more able to feel anything, okay, understand anything, experience anything. So lastly, the reality is that put your mind and heart also engage the highest sense in the form of mind. And then heart is not directly considered sense, but mind. So, alongside all your senses, put the king, controller of all your senses, mind, into the service of Krishna. Then all will be fulfilled. Then that service, the service becomes more complete and fulfilled. It is called Bhakti. So thus, when you can engage all your senses alongside the controller of senses, mind, in the service of Krishna, in Krishna consciousness. In other words, when you apply all your senses and perceptions, making the best utility of them, highest utility of them in the service of Krishna, then that is called Bhakti. So Bhakti doesn't completely mean only some Bhakti. In other words, the conception of Bhakti, definition of Bhakti is not just isolated or reserved only within the mental, or mental or spiritual platform, a subjective platform like some sweet emotions, such as some sweet emotional feelings, sweet love sentiments. But also it has to be applied in reality, realistic applications of your sweet love feelings, love sentiments, emotions, to the practical services. So subjective concept of Bhakti should also be flowing through its objective conception, objective flow. When subjective conception, objective conceptions of Bhakti get together, means a sweet emotional love feelings or sweet sentiments or loving emotions, subjective feelings become united with the objective ways of implementing, applying, utilizing all those sweet love sentiments, love emotions through doing something for the beloved. Active way. Not just idealistic way, but realistic way. I repeat, in other words, when our higher mental emotions, sentimental, sweet love sentiments or emotions, they become combined with our practical ways of implementations. Okay. Unified together, it becomes Bhakti. So in a simple way, Bhakti means offering yourself, offering everything of yourself, all your love service to Krishna, not only mental way, but also practical, objective way. Not only your subjective way is through some feelings, only some sweet emotions and love emotions, but also translating, unifying it in a more practical, through practical, sweet, beloved activities called service. So when the subjective ways and objective ways of the service of relationship with Krishna becomes combined, unified together, it is called Bhakti. Complete definition of Bhakti. But if somebody thinks only merely sitting around, it is a part, no doubt, only meditating and having some very good feelings, some sweet sentiments, loving emotions, bhava, and there is no need of doing any service objectively, and that is full-scale bhakti. It is not that on the level of sadhana, that's what I mean. On the very high-class Mahabhagavata level, they can combine both subjective, objective way in their world of meditation. Although they are only sitting, but in the inner world through Manusha Seva, they can be doing a complete service, most wonderful, complete service, right, in a great way, only on the spiritual platforms, objectively, subjectively, objectively. So that's very high case. That's a very high example. Here, what we are talking about is an example. It is relating to the level of sadhana. Right now, which we are talking about, the context we are relating to is mostly level of our primary or upper primary or little secondary level of our sadhana. We are not yet where we are not truly qualified to do all services, offer all love services in the world of our mind and soul, in the world of our mind, heart and soul. Only Mahabhagavata, Uttamadhikari devotees are qualified to do that. For us, both have to be combined. Chanting holy names, singing the holy names, singing the devotional songs, having sweet loving emotions, feelings of sweet sentiments, loving emotions for Krishna in mind and heart, while our hands are engaged, the whole body also engaged in doing some practical services to Krishna, Krishna deity, Krishna temple, anything like our book distribution, anyway, should be, a whole body should also be engaged in applied services, applied Krishna consciousness, in many objective services, practical ways of services to Krishna. When both get combined, it becomes ideal bhakti. Ideal and real. When both gets together, it becomes perfect. Our conception of the reality of devotion, a conception, true, complete conception, full-fledged conception of the definition of pure devotion, wholesome devotion, is the combination of ideal and real. Yes. Ideal and real and ideal, both. Ideally real and really ideal. Philosophical way you can say. The nature of our service, nature of our devotion in relation to Krishna, should be ideally real and realistically ideal. So that is the meaning of this verse. How we can serve Lord Krishna so nicely, so wonderfully, by engaging all our senses in His service. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanang Bhakti Ruchyate. This is called devotion. I also have had desire to be explaining another verse alongside. The whole night will pass by. It is Khantir Abbartha Kalottam Viraktir Manur, another wonderful verse defining and illuminating into the bhakti, defining and having so much illumination into the character of bhakti. At least let me take the pleasure of uttering that verse, if not going into explanation. You can read the translation from the scripture. Kshanti rabbartha kalottam viraktir manasunnata ashabandha samutkantha namo gane sadaruchi ashakti stad gunakyani priti stad pasati sthale. In this way, that's going. Another great definition, great explanation, illumination about pure bhakti, nature of bhakti. So, everybody is still maintaining the patience or getting out of patience. If anyone wants to place any query, wants to have any query related or unrelated, so I welcome it. Or if you all feel already high time for tasting prasadam, that is also better. That is also very good. So option is yours. Okay.
Any specific questions or any? So in the waking stage, right? We have our senses and our mind. So when we are in dream, all senses goes down. So mind is there. So how we can? Is it any way that we can use our dream to achieve it better? Because at least our senses are down there. And then we can use the better use of mind. Can we do it someday?
See, it's another topic, another vast world. The world of dream is another vast world of certain subjective level of consciousness. So let me try to find out a brief way, precise way of answering your question. The things we experience, the things we experience in the world of dream, also it is combination of subjective and objective experiences, although everything happening on the plane of dream. Some portion or some aspects of our dream always receives the reflections of how we live our material life, objective life on this plane, on the wakeful state, on the mundane plane. So, different aspects, different kinds of influences of all our activities on this mundane plane, in our day-to-day life or any way in our life, does reflect in our dream. At the same time, it's not the case, it's not the reality that anything we dream must be fully dependent or reliant on what we are doing on this objective plane. Because wonderfully we find those who experience many things in dream, they can easily realize in dream many such experiences we can receive which never happened, which usually don't happen in our normal day-to-day lifetime. So there is no chance that could be influenced by this, something new, something amazing, very surprising, new. As if in the while we are dreaming, we can realize as if it happened, as if everything is happening real, it was true. As soon as we wake up, we cannot match them, cannot match. Many things are easily solved. Many, realities we are experiencing on the dreams level are getting solved or getting well understood as long as we are dreaming. Okay? So, but as soon as we are waking up, the same things do not make much sense on this material dynamic, because it's a difference by dynamics, difference by dimensions of experiences. And so dreams world is another mystical, mysterious world. Many things from our past lives also reflect in the dream, besides our present, current life activities. And apart from our current life activities, material life activities, and past life activities or influence, something in between can also appear in the dream. Some truth, realities can be reflected.
But the question is,
I know. I'm coming. Okay, you say your question. I'm just explaining about the dream's nature. Unless and until we understand the real character of the dream, how can we know how to utilize that in Krishna consciousness? Therefore, first it is required to be explained, to understand the character, nature of dream. Then it will be easier for us to. So tell me about your question again, pinpoint.
I think the question we are just.
Yes.
So you are explaining.
So, definitely, we can also be utilizing our dream in the service of Krishna, but we have to, in the first place, in the primary stage, we have to be cultivating certain ability of relating to Krishna, or even dreaming in Krishna consciousness, okay, through some sadhana. Like, for example, those devotees who are absorbed, engaged in chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or any mantra all the time. He can even be chanting in sleeping mode, It happens even by habit. Even higher than habit, greater than habitual way, it can happen by consciousness. Like, I give you some simple examples. If you are traveling, if you are traveling by a tourist coach, by a train for 1 month long, and then you come back to your house, you sleep on your bed, you feel you are going by the train. It becomes so habitual in your constitution, get mixed with your constitutional feelings. You are not on train no more. You are just sleeping on your bed, static something. How? Still you feel like you are in the train, something swaying and like in train journey. Okay, many ways. Similarly, when a devotee is always engaged and absorbed in chanting holy names of the Lord, holy mantram, all the time, then even he is also continuing chanting through sleeping mode. It reflects in the dream also. Can. Therefore, those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness, absorbed in Krishna consciousness for 24 hours in life, before death they don't have to worry. They do not have to worry at all before the death of the material body. They cannot but be situated in Krishna consciousness while living the material body. It becomes so ingrained. One, identical with their constitution through the continued cultivations and practices. Okay, therefore Nairantarja is very valuable. Nairantarja means continuity, continued insistence. That is called Khantira Bharthakalattam. No point of time should be wasted. Is one of the criteria in the pure devotional life. No, not even a small part of time, no point of time should be wasted without Krishna. Each and every part of the time, time, space should be utilized in Krishna consciousness, in the service of Krishna, in connection with Krishna. That is called Abharthakalattam. Means no time point brings any failure. Abhartha means unmissed. How do you say? Unmissed. No time point is missed to be utilized in the service of Krishna. Means every time point in our life getting utilized in Krishna. No time point can fail to relate to Krishna. It's called Abbartha Kalottam. Back to the point. I'm being drawn into the explanation of that verse. It will take another 2 hours. So now back to the point. Dream, yes. While a devotee is fully engaged in the devotional services to Krishna, engaged in the feelings of the Krishna consciousness, accompanied by all the activities, devotional service activities for Krishna, then that becomes so much mixed, that sort of continuous cultivations, spiritual cultivations, because it's not material cultivation, that's how spiritually oriented, divinely influenced cultivations of Krishna consciousness in continuity also reflects on the state of sleeping mode, the mode of sleep, in the mode of dream. That's how we can qualify. We can also qualify the level of our dreaming to connect to Krishna. Okay, to stay connected with Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, as bad things also happen in our material life, day-to-day material life, some good things, also bad things. In the world of dream also, some good dreams, also some part of nightmares, bad dreams also may come, until and unless we are totally liberated on the divine platform, until and unless our consciousness becomes totally liberated and in tune with the divine, divine platform, divine frequency, dimensions. Naturally, there will be some bad things also reflected in the dream, bad dreams. Have to just ignore. Just as we have to be expert, we have to be expert just to ignore all the negative energy, side of negative energy, and consciously be associated with the world of positive energy during the difficult times of adversity in our life. That is very intelligent decision. Okay? Because when we try to maintain a state neutral between positive energy and negative energy, we cannot stay neutral for long. Either we'll get pulled by, mostly we can get pulled by negative energy. So, there is no real neutral state or neutral stand between the association of positive and negative energy. Rather, at the moment, during the time of adversities, in other words, during our adverse situation, when we're influenced by, captured by so much negative energies, the real remedy is that besides the world of negative energy, there's also vast, unlimited world of positive energy. The real intelligent person, what the real intelligent persons will do, the great devotees do, they consciously motivate themselves, they consciously be motivated to come in close connection with the world of positive energy. Start closely associating with the world of positive energy and deriving positive power from the positive world of positive divine energy. They can easily subdue, overpower the negative energy, which coming to devour them. It is quite possible. And that's what is found, that criteria is found in the great lives. See, when you carefully look into the great lives of the Mahapurusha, their lifestyle is not always so smooth. In their life is not always filled with only success and happiness and favor, not that. They are also faced with so much upheavals, difficulties, adversities in their life. Okay, sometimes turmoil. But being elite commando, being spiritual elite commando, divine elite commando, they derive, while receiving the greater power, ability from within, from the level of his soul and super soul. At the same time engaged in prayer to the Supreme for helping him or her with the superior ability, with the higher grace, their mercy, to bless them with superior ability so that they can fight. They can be fighting and surviving such adverse situations, difficulties. They make it. Ultimately, they make it. Temporarily they pass. Yes, temporarily they have to pass through different adverse, difficult situations, sometimes turmoil. But ultimately they become victorious. They become decorated with victory and victory and victory. Beautified and decorated with success and success. That is the life of the Mahapurusha. Therefore they are called great lives. We are required to follow in their footsteps. It's reality. We're taking from the reality, collecting this truth from the reality of their experience. No imagination. So back to the point. So we find many of the great lives also filled with experiences of upheavals, great difficulties, turmoil, but they never collapse there. That is the difference between ordinary life and great life. While the ordinary life succumbs, they're prone, more prone to get collapsed, succumbed. But the great lives never do that. Rather, they accept the challenge with the higher adventurous spirit, higher spirit of adventure, backed by the some divine power. Okay, they are deriving from grace of the Lord, backed by some divine power and superior ability given by the grace, granted by the grace of Lord. While they are also deriving some power from within the level of soul, super soul. They become so powerful, they simply accept all those challenges and pass through by overpowering them, overpowering the energy, negative energy of all adversity or difficulties or turmoil. Okay, they simply overpower and pass through. Ultimately, they are blessed with victory, joyful success. So, we are needed to follow in the footsteps of Mahajano, therefore. Mahajano jeno gatasya pantha. So, coming back to the point of how to be utilizing our dream to the best, how to make the best utility of our dream in the service of Krishna. Yes. Simply cultivating ourselves more and more, if possible 24 hours within 24 hours. Okay. Cultivating our life in Krishna consciousness. And then a dream will also be blessed. At some point our dreams level will also be blessed, qualified, okay, by the influence of our continued engagement in Krishna consciousness on the objective world. And thereby we can also have some very nice dreams. That's how we can also have qualified blessed dreams, which can be qualified to be offered in Krishna's service. Then in the dreams body, in the level of dreams consciousness, we can also be engaging in serving to Krishna in various ways. It is possible. But that sattvic, that mode of goodness, the dream has to appear, has to be created, has to be born in the mode of goodness, in the mode of Krishna consciousness, through the influence of our continued cultivations of the life of devotional service to Krishna. That way it is possible.